Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together. Alright, so again, a quick mention that this is a completely fictional game. There are no people here, so any mentions of this is a minor with an adult don't actually exist because there aren't any people. These are just ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And so before anybody comes in and going, yeah, I hate that kind of stuff, this isn't our preference for a game, but we are here for basically literary exposure.
Yes.
And so we're going to keep pushing ahead and going, what the heck is this? And also, who is this audience directed to? So my good friend Scandal here was pointing out something really fascinating of how much this game changes if you're, one, playing it with a friend, and two, playing it for an audience. So we assume all of you are there watching with us. And we think about that, you know, at every moment as we're going through this, going, how are you guys feeling and reacting to this when it's a game that's being performed to you by two people interacting it with together, when it's very much designed to be a private experience by yourself in your own head? And would that experience be dramatically different if you were by yourself?
I honestly think it would be.
I imagine it would be greatly different, yes.
Yeah. We've actually had that discussion, though, about plenty of the games that we have played, where once you start basically talking about them out loud, you even, number one, change the pacing of the entire story and the entire experience rather drastically sometimes. Like how my friend talked about, and also Witos just talked about in general, of how My Mystic Dragons apparently was supposed to be way more of a comedy than we picked up on because we were going so much slower than what the game was expecting us to do.
And when you went through it really fast, there were a lot of, like, comedy beats that I essentially picked up on that you can't catch if the timing is off, because timing is everything in comedy. Anyway, so don't touch me around that area.
So here's that area.
Ticklish. Okay, that was great. They baited us. They baited us with, it's gonna be something inappropriate, but I'm just ticklish. My,
Mr. is ticklish. Right here!
And she yells here again for reasons. Wow, stop it, please. Okay, so one, if a person is a professional and you say stop it, they should stop it.
Yes.
I understand that friends or family or people that are very close to you can be like, I'm going to tickle you, and you can be like, stop, and they might persist based on being familiar with you and knowing what your limits are, and that you might shout stop even if you don't mean it yet. Or they might just be actually pushing your boundaries, and that's a good thing to examine in and of and with yourself. However, in the case of a professional who is a near total stranger to you, when you say stop, they should stop immediately.
Yes, which is what makes this a little awkward,
providing it is safe to do so. Like, if you say stop and they're giving you an injection, they need to finish what they're doing to remove the needle safely, kind of thing.
Yes, because you can actually hurt yourself.
But if it's something that is optional, such as tickling, or touching you.
Also, again, professional relationship. This is really weird.
This is very weird. Unless she's basically playing mom and trying to make you, the little kid, comfortable. And then it's kind of weird to have her as a dating option. To me. Not that people don't want to date moms, because sometimes you just might want to date moms.
And sometimes you might just want to date dads, and that's okay too.
And that's okay. Other times you might just be like, date parents. I just want to date parents.
Which is okay, and I get that. Also, again, this is clearly a fantasy situation, which is why we also bring up the sex worker thing, is because, guess what? That's what sex workers do. They typically basically help you along with your fantasy.
They operate in a fantasy situation. I moved backward, even though I was as far back as I could go. And Louisa accidentally falls forward because she was tickling me so hard that all of her balance was leaned against me as I leaned against the headrest. And how did I lean back even farther? Him flailing around, grabs the bed control, pushes the button, and her slowly moving with you, and then suddenly loses her balance. She looks devastated. Like, devastated.
She looks stunned. Her entire life just, oh dear.
She lands completely on top of me. I scream in pain because of my leg.
Because
okay. She lands on top of me. Oh my goodness!
And then All Might breaks through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man and goes, oh my goodness!
And you both go, wah! And Louisa jumps to the ceiling like a surprised cat and clambers onto the top of the rails.
The light fixture.
The light fixture, or those rails that hold the curtain that she didn't pull around, and just hangs there like a terrified cat. And All Might says, do not fear!
I am here!
And then proceeds to give you the most, experienced and impersonal and efficient sponge bath you've ever had, gets you in a gown, pulls her down to the ceiling, stands her on her feet, tidies up the room, and leaves in a flash.
I and actually manages to fix the
Heroic!
whole... Poink! Replasters the entire way that he went back.
Yeah, he replasters them all on the way out. It's magical.
It's beautiful.
He's
You
just-
don't know how in the world that happened, but there it is. You just got a SpongeBob bath from SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
You got a
holding
SpongeBob.
this tiny action figure in your new hospital gown. It's going, SpongeBob? What?
The tiny little asexual sponge, which I actually giggled about. So actually, for Pride Month,
Mm-hmm.
they apparently came out with that SpongeBob was on the gay was on the gay flag. They're like, SpongeBob is gay, and everybody went, what? And it's like, well, sponges are asexual, so because they asexually tend to reproduce.
They reproduce asexually,
so
yeah.
they have no basically sex drive.
They have no sexuality.
So it was really funny.
And going,
And people just freaked out, going, this is what we're doing with Pride. We're finding out that SpongeBob is ace. And it's like,
He's
if you
queer.
know that SpongeBob is a sponge, it shouldn't be as surprising. But yep, there we are. It's fine.
Some people don't actually give their animal characters the characteristics of the animals they are, so there's that too.
There is also
All right.
that.
Oh my goodness.
Ah!
I fell over. Clap.
I
on
almost hit my head!
On my amazing pecs? What? Where? On the bed? My friend is giving me a terrified look. I don't even want to know. She almost hit her head.
I actually read it initially as, I almost hit my tiny head.
Oh my god. At least you didn't read it. I almost hit your head. Alright. So, we're going to make this game worse than it is. On accident. Poorly. I can
can't
feel.
function anymore.
I can
I'm
feel her
broken
warmth
inside.
against my frozen, wet, chilly chest as I shiver. Her outfit slowly absorbs the liquid off of me, and the sponge she tries to catch herself with slides slowly up the side of my face.
Yes.
She flung her arms out and clapped the sponge into my jaw, trying to catch her balance. And she just slowly pushing it up against my cheek and just whooshing it up into my eyes.
And we're like,
It's fine, but I feel slightly warmer with her sprawled across me.
just a
So
bit.
that's good.
That's an experience.
All of a sudden, the air conditioner doesn't seem so cold anymore. Louisa, do you know you make a really good blanket?
Louisa, do you know that you block air from hitting my body?
Hey, Louisa,
It's super nice.
do you know that your body is warmer than the ambient temperature of the room?
Oh yeah, such an ambient temperature. Such a chill temperature.
She falls on you. She's exactly the same temperature as the 60-degree room.
Oh! Louisa,
Oh.
you are freezing. Louisa, tiny skirt.
Louisa, it's okay. We put heat packs in our gloves for reasons.
We put heat packs in our underwear.
In our tits. That's why they look so full and round. So we don't freeze.
Poink! Shake, 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 shake. If you
Grabs the two heat packs, rubs them together aggressively, shoves them in the bra. Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
shake, 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 shake. Yep, shakes the top, going na 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 na, jiggling back and forth.
Oh my God.
You. Oh.
The air conditioner doesn't seem so cold anymore. I don't say and just think in my own head. We lay in silence for a few seconds while her outfit absorbs more of the water off me and she slowly removes the sponge from my face, realizing that she really is kind of pressing it into my eye at this point. It's running down my chest and onto her uniform. So I feel like she's gonna look like she had an accident if she lays here too much longer.
Aye.
No one dares to speak. All these people there in like the surgery gallery staring down, none of them say anything.
I'm just looking.
Looking, no one dares to speak.
No one. Not even the head doctor.
Head doctor.
Says nothing.
Says nothing. Everyone says
Everyone
nothing.
just looking.
Not
And they're
neither of
all
us.
having their masks on, all the orderlies all prepped, they all have their gloves on, they're all just watching.
Just watching.
Just
It's fine.
watching.
Everyone.
Everyone.
This entire audience in this room, no one speaks. You could have said neither of us. Finally, once I'm feeling warm and reasonably drier than I was,
Sponge bath's over! Now you smell good again after I cleaned
just
this
your
much
chest
of you.
and arms. I
Yay!
hope you cleaned my armpits too.
Nope.
I mean, my face is also clean on one side,
Oh,
like pretty
God.
good, like clean on one side.
Oh, God.
And I think I have soap in my eye. Ow.
Extensive
Ow.
testosterone
Huh?
with smelly armpits.
Oh yeah, you
Oh yeah,
gotta
in
watch
my
the
experience,
armpits.
like, whoa, if you have a lot of testosterone, based off of my experience, I've been like, dude, you will smell. Please
You will
clean
smell. You are
thyself.
strongly scented of the bodily
Though that is not always true, and sometimes I've actually been really surprised where some guys are like, I smell so gross, and you just kind of look at them and you're just like, what?
Not compared to other guys. They're like, your standards are very low. Guys are gross. And you go,
Oh.
I will try to understand that. But to me, you don't smell bad. I've
Uh-huh.
actually had that before, actually.
Uh-huh.
Being like, I don't think you smell bad. And they're like, most men are disgusting, this man says to
Uh-huh.
me, and have no good sense of hygiene. It was that older gentleman that was the really tall one at the forming table.
Oh!
He was a lovely black gentleman. And he was really just like most men that I know are disgusting, have no sense of hygiene. Like he dressed really nicely when he wasn't in his uniform. He looked great. I would say, but he's like, and so I smell poorly, and your standards for the way men smell are very low. And I went, fair, okay?
Accurate.
Fair.
Yes.
All right, sponge bath's over because
Nah.
I've now laid on top of you, and that's the grand finale.
And I've absorbed all smell.
This uniform has Febreze threads, just woven into it. It's wonderful.
It's scented.
It's unscented. Febreze absorbs scent and removes
Oh.
it.
Oh. Except
You
that
have to
I always thought that
specifically
Febreze had a smell with it.
You have to specifically get scented Febreze.
Oh.
Otherwise, it works like baking soda and just removes smell.
Oh, I didn't know that at all. See, and I always thought baking soda had a particular smell.
Right, but it doesn't make a room smell like that when it's just sitting over here absorbing smell.
Okay, but it always smells like, like baking soda.
In the whole room?
Hmm?
If it's just a box sitting in a corner, like the whole fridge smells like baking soda to you? It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It smells like baking soda.
I have never. Okay, so I've done the descenting your fridge by opening a little box of baking soda and not taking any of it out at all and putting it in the bottom quarter of your fridge to help absorb smell. And I have never felt like the whole fridge then smelled like baking soda and the food and stuff smelled like baking soda.
No, not like the food itself necessarily, but there is a smell there of going like that's the baking soda. Okay, I don't have anything. I'm like, I thought it just.
But yeah, Febreze does have a smell of its own that then, to my nose, goes away very quickly because it's an odor neutralizer.
I mean,
it's not a center.
I love that though, where they say stuff like that, and they're like, I remember where they're like, yes, we're trying to hide the smell of poop when you go to the bathroom, and somebody actually talked about it. So there was an Amazon review of where there's people who would like, they have the spray.
So it's the poopery.
The poopery, and somebody reviewed it, and they were like, it smells like scented poop now.
Oh my god.
And they were like, hooray.
Hooray. Thanks, now I have floral crap.
Yay, I've taken a floral shit.
I see.
And it was really funny. And they were just like, smells nice, just smells like scented poop now.
Now you're like, well, that is not doing what it's supposed to do, but okay. All right, now you smell good again. She pushes herself off my bare chest with her really wet gloves, and then she stands up. She picks up the sponge afterwards.
Wasn't that fun? I cannot wait to do it all over again.
And just watch the top quarter of me again. Is that the only part that gets dirty in a hospital?
Can I have the sponge?
Could I just maybe wash myself for a minute? I'm already naked here.
Louisa, no, it's fine. You'll be fine. Walking away. Me?
Us.
No.
No, I would like to be clean, please.
Please.
Also, my sheets are really wet, and it's going to be really cold later.
Oh, God. I wet the bed. Help.
Do what? Give me that's actually some comedy. Actually some comedy. Okay, I think this is kind of like trying to lighten the tension.
Yes.
I think this is very much like trying to lighten the tension. Give me a sponge bath or fall on top of me.
All of a sudden, what?
She blushes all of a sudden. She has not blushed before in a way that we have recognized or seen, and it's not a slow blush, it's all of a sudden. She blushes so hard the music goes away.
All you have to say is Louisa goes bright red.
Or Louisa blushes.
Or Louisa blushes, period. You don't have to do all of a sudden. That's completely unnecessary grammatically.
Okay.
Like, you could just really say, again, Louisa blushes, or you really could just say, Louisa goes bright red. Like, that is a thing, especially right afterwards, of going, she clearly blushes suddenly anyway, so, it just feels stupid to me.
I think they're trying to make it be like, it seems like she's blushing where she didn't expect to. So sometimes there's that experience of where someone blushes and they kind of look down and blush. There's this whole posture of, I'm feeling shy. And when they blush suddenly, it's more like a, huh? And they're surprised and they blush.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like, one, I'm sort of submitting to the experience of I'm a little bit shy and embarrassed.
Let's say
and
Louisa.
that's not considered sudden. So this is basically going, it happens to her unexpectedly. It's the only way I can know.
Louisa looks surprised. She goes red.
There's a lot of ways to say it.
I just feel like it, I don't know, it just seems bad. Oh, dear, I'm sorry if that made you uncomfortable. You might have screamed stop it twice at me, but, you know,
she cries.
I figured.
She actually cries.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry if that made you uncomfortable.
Do they all have a cry face in this one?
They
like,
must.
Are all of our dating options going to have a tear face?
I'm also really impressed that they actually have crying faces, because I've observed in the other games that none of the guys really cry at all, and it's very frustrating.
I have not seen, so far in my experience yet, a single male character with tears.
Yes.
In any of the dating games. So this is definitely not a stylistic choice. This is like an interpretive or intentional choice, but I don't know what it's supposed to mean. Anyway, she seems very, very worried that she might have made us uncomfortable.
I promise you that I will never fall on top of you without your permission.
I will then ask you if you want this service in the future. I assumed it was, par for the course.
Right. Also, though, for me, I'm just going like, so you did that on purpose? Oh, that sounds like, again, like just within like saying that she's just a nurse, she's not a sex worker, that she just did that on purpose. That was a choice?
Because she now won't do it without your permission. Or what she's saying is, I will never do that ever again, but I could still fall on you, like fall for you, like fall on you with your permission. So what she's going is, I will never have an accident ever again, but I'm still available to you. That's what that would be.
That's possible. I don't know.
I don't either, but that would be my best guess at that one of going, I will never basically have an accident in reference to your physical space ever again, ever. But I would still fall on top of you if you asked me to.
I would still do it if you asked me to.
If you wanted me to.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Now, hold still. Let's get you changed into this clean gown. Instantly happy. It's fine. I've got it. Now,
Where
hold
did you
still.
get the clean gown, and are you holding it with your wet gloves, dear?
Ew, we're going to be soaking and freezing.
She carefully helps me wear another hospital gown that is very damp. And I am very damp. You know what wasn't included in the sponge bath? A towel afterwards. So it's a really good thing she fell on me and got her clothes all wet, absorbing my water to make me dry. Fabric feels much better. How long was I wearing that old gown anyway? Whoa. You were out for a week. What? What? We didn't change your clothes the whole time.
For some reason.
What?
That's horrifying. There we go. Good as new. You look like a brand new gentleman, if you don't mind me saying.
Looks down at this really, really cheesy hospital gown that is tied with a tiny thread at your neck and has the back of you still completely exposed, laying on these sheets. A gentleman wearing a bed sheet. Yep. Or what amounts to a large bib with sleeves.
I always feel so bad for people in hospital gowns. They're so important, and they're really like meant to like try to help you so that you don't mess up like your own clothes or whatever else. But still,
they're also really there to give the medical staff access to you and cover you.
Yes.
Sometimes when you come into a hospital, you don't get to keep any of your clothes because they were destroyed in the accident that brought you there.
Yes.
Or that incited your need to go there, if you will. And then until someone brings you more clothes, you have nothing. So they have clothes.
Yes. Now, the music will stop.
There is a knock on the door.
It's Mickey.
It probably is.
Huh? Who could that be?
Usually they knock and come in that I'm aware of.
Oh, there is actually a knock that's actually on the game itself.
It made a tiny little knock. I don't know if you guys could hear, but there was a tiny little knock in the game itself. There's another knock. What is this device on the wall? I want to know.
It's a phone.
Is it?
That is a phone.
It's a phone.
You totally forgot about phones that have cords.
No. It's not very clear. It's very soft shading. It's not clear.
I know. But
also,
I was
that's
just
not
like,
a continuous cord. So I was like, is that a phone or is that meant to be something else?
I mean, it looks like a continuous cord.
No,
it's really weird and bunched up.
That's a little separate place. That's a little separate place. The actual art lines aren't continuous.
All right, fine.
Anyway,
You don't like
fine.
the painterly style. I appreciate it.
There's another knock. And another, and they keep knocking, and they just...
My, they sure want to get inside. Are you expecting visitors today, mister?
Parents! We have parents! Oh my god! I love that we have parents!
Let's ask then about our parents in the next one.
Yay!
Great. Okay, well, thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below.
Yep.
Please also feel free to share our videos with somebody that you think might have a good time with us as well.
Yay.
And other than that, I have been Scandal.
And if you wanted to support us more directly, you could check out our Ko-Fi or our Patreon, which
I thought I already said that.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Damn it, I missed it. Anyway, we really like it when people support us more directly because we really would like to do this for a living. And in the meantime, I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!